All right, this is a question from Reddit. So, what's the most bizarre small talk topic you've ever found yourself discussing, and how did it come up?
Wow.
Do you want me to go first?
You might have to, because even after like I've been racking my brain since you submitted that, and I still like,
Yeah, exactly. You said I would know. Like, no, I have no clue, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, so about 5 to 6 years ago, I went on a camping trip. You already know about
Yep.
this, okay?
Yep.
Fine.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And I was with this girl and her dad, and we spent a couple nights together. Anyway, we're driving back home now, and we're all packed together in her dad's truck, and for some reason he just starts talking about how to stay safe during intercourse, and we're just sitting there trying not to like we're just we don't know what to say. He's just ranting on and on about how you should use protection, and we just didn't say anything the whole time, but he was just going on and on about it, and it was so just bizarre that he was talking to us like 14, 15 year olds about that. And he yeah he also still he I lent him like $40 to let us stay at the campground for another night, because I don't know, I guess he didn't have the money to like keep us there for an extra night, and I gave him the money. He walks away with it, and then later on during the night he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to switch campgrounds anyway. And I'm like, well, where's my money at? And he just kind of waved it off, and we spent another night together. And then we went to a far less luxurious campground that had a bunch of needles and broken bottles and stuff in
Oh,
it.
that's fun.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, that conversation was really weird and just out of nowhere. So, yeah.
that like where he just like pockets the money and walks away. It just reminds me so much of, I've been rewatching The Office. It just reminds me of Creed. You know, when he like I don't remember what episode it is, but oh, it's one of the Christmas ones where there's like a box of presents they're giving to the kids, you know, and he walks by and grabs one. He's like, and Jim's like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to put a present in," and he's just like, "Yep," and just walks away.
Yeah. Or he's like collecting money for like I
Yeah.
think it was like Meredith in the hospital, and he's or like yeah, anyway, and he just takes it for himself. But yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hmm.
All right, what do you got? One Gamify.
No, I can't think of anything.
Damn.
Uh,
I'm sorry, Riley. You're angry. I understand.
No, no, no. I
he's
will.
pissed off, man. You're on his
Yeah.
no-fly list now.
Yep.
Okay, so I've got this one, and it's like it's borderline the question, but I'm gonna use it. So
Hmm.
at the job I worked at, I work nights, and for whatever reason, and I've said this before, like if you want to find like, I'm giving dating advice here. If you want to find a young lady that just is nice and, you know, down to earth, go work in healthcare, because for whatever reason the ratio of men to girls is like insane. Like I, at multiple times during working at this place, I was the only guy that worked there, and I'm married, so I'm not interested or whatever, you know. But like it's like a 1 to 30 ratio of like one guy to every 30 girls. Anyways, that's
Hmm.
beside the point. But so I was always working with females,
Hmm.
and for whatever reason, this one night, and it was like winter. They go to bed earlier, and so we just had so much time on our hands. Well, this one gets the bright idea to pull out what's the game? I don't even remember. It's like the really adult.
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, good lord.
And you know, I mean, it shouldn't have been as weird as it was, but one of the questions came up, and it was just like, what do you like to bang? Or like name something you bang. And this girl just like shouts it out. And she's like, ugh, and like shouts her boyfriend's name. And it was just like, and it was just full awkward for like 30 seconds. And it shouldn't, that's the thing, it shouldn't have been awkward, but it just like was like, I feel really awkward, you know, because it like I felt like it should have been like a girls game that like four girls played together as they were working, but I was just the weird awkward guy and I'm married. And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. Like I don't, you
Yeah.
know. No. But I mean, you don't play that game unless you're wanting like awkward, weird conversations like that. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's I mean that's probably the weirdest one I can think of.
Mhm. Anything GameFi?
Well, speaking of the workplace, so
Mhm.
like with my job, I have to like sit with the people at their table, right?
Mhm.
Because I mean, okay, the thing that sucks about like homes and like residential areas where older people stay, families don't always come in. Like that's the sad part, right? Families don't always come in. Like they'll just leave them there and just never talk to them again.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
one of my like the aspects of my job is to sit with them and like literally what Cal said, the workplace ratio for men to women is so like it's out of pocket. Like literally the ratio is like he said like 1 to 30. So sometimes like I have a 2-person job and like there's CNAs there and like I'll literally just be sitting there watching them eat and they're like, oh, she's cute. Like literally and just look at me. I like it just trips me up because I'm sitting there supposed to be like helping them eat and stuff and they're just like, oh yeah, look at her, she's pretty cute. And I'm like, all right, cool. And it's like it's just so awkward. And then you're like stuck there for like 30 seconds. You're like, all right, let's move on.
Mhm. They're trying to
But
set you
yeah,
up, man.
it's fun. Oh yeah, I know. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry. That reminds me of another one. So there was certain people. Again, it's workplace stuff. There was certain. There was two people I always worked with, and were really close, really good friends. We'd worked together for a couple of years, and it's just like it's this phenomenon of like I don't know. I want your guys' opinion. Can guys and girls just be friends, or do you think there's always a certain level of like attraction there?
I
Like obviously they can be friends, but do you think like two single people can just be friends and hang out all the time and there be nothing to it?
Absolutely. I think that yeah.
mhm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean I believe that too, but apparently there's a lot of people that don't believe that because again, you know, married guy and
Yeah.
this girl and we were such good friends. Like I haven't ever had like a lot of really close friends I've really connected with that I've made it work, but this is one of them. And we, you know, we were like always hanging. We would, you know, we would always go put people in bed and like just really good friends, kind of both from small towns and stuff. But I didn't know this until later. But there was so many rumors about us, and they were all spread by this one guy, and he was really jealous because he was trying to get with this girl, but she had a boyfriend, and
Mhm.
but like he was spreading rumors around that we were just going off and hooking up. And I didn't know this until later. And she told me, like, again, a awkward conversation. This is probably a better one. But she's like, dude, did you know that this guy was telling everyone that we were going around hooking up? And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, like it was like, she's like, I had to like quash those rumors really fast because I didn't want to get to back. I didn't want to get to my friend group and all this stuff. And I didn't want to ruin your marriage or anything. But like, it was like really bad. And like everybody was believing it. And like, it was weird too, because I remember people treating me different. Like, and I didn't know why. But they just were like so like snarky to me. And anyways, it's weird. But
Yeah. So in terms of like the opposite sex being friends, for me personally, I was kind of I guess uh I've been single for like a long time, and there was this point in like high school where I was just like miserable, and I would like look at couples and be like, "Ew, why would I even want like a woman friend?" Kind of like in an incel frame of mind, right? And I would just think like, um, so I have a couple like female acquaintances and friends that I don't want to get with or anything, and they've been great to me. And but if I feel like as a man, or even like just like a kid specifically, you kind of have to mentally get past the point to where like not everyone is gonna like you like in that way. And so like just like don't ask out like every like female that you interact with, or like think of them in that way. And that's just kind of what I had to do growing up for the past like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. Just be like, treat them like a normal person firstly, because that's what
That
they,
helps. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it can happen, but I feel like most young men that specifically kind of have to get that frame of mind first, to not just think about that constantly, and then that would help me out a lot. So, yeah,
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
long answer to your question, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's it.
So yeah, since I don't know, do you think that we should do another Reddit question, or do you think that's a good
What?
answers for that? Because
Um,
I think I found a couple here that
Just
I
send them.
yeah, okay,
do it. Yeah.
all right. This is more of a I don't know. When was the first time you finally felt satisfied with your life?
Hmm.
That's so random.
Yeah.
What if I'm still working on that?
When I felt satisfied with with my accomplishments.
Okay, I will go first. Um, I would say within the past like year or so, when like just like I grew up game. Both of you know this. I used to live stream constantly every day. I didn't have shit to do. I would just do that, walk my dog, go back on stream, get mad at Fortnite, whatever, and then um, so up until when I moved to Arizona, I didn't really do much, and I kind of stayed inside all the time. Didn't talk to anyone really. Didn't hang out with friends. Nothing like that until like yeah, until I moved here roughly 2 years ago, and it's like it's been the best thing that has happened to me, and I finally feel satisfied in a way because I feel like I kind of had this feeling at my family reunion where like you see someone when they're a child, or a toddler or whatever, and you're like, wow, this like I don't want to sound like an asshole, but like they don't really feel like a person. They don't feel like their own person quite yet. They just kind of do and say whatever their parents say. Well, I kind of felt like I've evolved from what my parents like kind of taught me to do, and I've kind of like made my own path, so to speak. And that's kind of how I felt satisfied in my young adult life, is because I've just kind of formed my own views and opinions on most things that kind of differs me from most people in my family. And yeah, that does make me feel satisfied because I feel like my own person now. So yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got one game to play?
yeah, I got one. Um, I feel I'm gonna build off what like Riley said. Being your own person, like I feel like so like early when COVID hit, right? I would just stay in my room and like make videos and stuff like that, and like do my own thing, really just be my own person. But like I'd still do like my schoolwork and all that, and like my mom had brought up like brought something up to me like, huh, why don't you do something? And I said, well, why? Like, there's no point. Literally, we can't go anywhere. And so yeah, uh, speaking of like the gaming and stuff like that, like during school, my grades weren't the best, and like my mom would try to keep me focused, and I would stay like right above where I would need to be, right? But come last year, my senior year, I did very well, actually, to actually plan my life ahead and pretty much get to where like I would need to be to still be like success. Like, obviously, you can grow off high school and still be successful, but like, it's not recommended, obviously. And I pretty much got like my grades together. I cut down on like, I mean, obviously, I still play games and all that, but like,
Hmm.
I pretty much got my schoolwork together. I was like, yeah, if I actually try and I actually like put my mind to it, I can actually do good. Because I had that mentality ever since like seventh grade, when I slipped up in math class like one time. Like, I know it sounds cringe, but like literally, if if I swear to God, the teachers are right, man. It's a literal hole that like if you dig yourself into,
Yeah.
it's so hard to get out.
Hmm.
Like last year, I dug myself out, and I'm proud of that. Like a lot of people might say like, oh, it's your fault, and obviously it is. I take accountability for what I did, but I'm happy to say I got out, and I'm obviously going to college now. Pretty
Hmm.
much the first one in my family to do that, so I'm proud of that too. So
Nice.
yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like before me. I don't remember the last person that even graduated high school in my family. Like that's like the one thing that my dad was always telling me about is that like you're like myself, your father, pretty much all of like my cousins and other people around my age, they didn't really graduate or anything. So yeah, that was one thing to kind of make me fulfill that. So yeah, I, I was laughing because I don't know if you were spacing out, Cal, or like your webcam froze, but yeah, that was somewhat
It
funny.
could have been either. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Anyway, do you have an answer?
Sometimes my face just freezes like that. Um, yeah, it's like a sorry, random thought. It's like when you're streaming. I don't know if you've ever been streaming and your webcam freezes and you're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's awkward. It's
why does he
awkward.
do it so perfect?
But I would say for me, like I mentioned earlier, I started off in exercise science pre-med, and there's one class. Well, there's a lot of classes, but there's a particular class you have to take, and you have to do really good. Like it makes sense that you'd need to do really good in this class, and it's anatomy, understanding the body, like where all the bones are and the everything,
Mhm.
major organs and everything. This class is hard, dude. Like I can't tell you how many hours I spent, but I was determined. I was like, I'm gonna get an A in this class because I need it, and I feel like if I am truly gonna go down the path of being a doctor, and now it's like a joke because I spent so much time doing something I'm not gonna use, but it's still interesting. But dude, I don't even know. Like I would spend probably 6, 7, 8 hours a day, and I had other classes, but they were easy, so I didn't need to spend a lot of time on them. And like up to this point in my college career, I had goofed off. Like I got okay grades, but they weren't like A's. They were probably like B's, B pluses. But I hadn't like dedicated myself to what I wanted to do. Well, in this class, I spent again 6 to 7 hours a day studying. And that's really what, if you want to like succeed, that's really what you have to do. And I ended up, and there's also a lab that goes with it, and you have to, it's where they have the cadaver, and you have to go in, and the cadavers are open, and you have to identify all the like the heart and the lungs and everything inside the body. But I did it, and I got perfect A's that whole semester. And like, there's something so satisfying about dedicating yourself to something like that and like accomplishing it. And for me in my life, again, I don't know if Game Riley knows this. I don't know if Gamify does. I have kids, a couple of kids now. And the semester after that, we had our first kid, our son. And because you have kid, you have to dedicate that time to them. Like my grades plummeted, like not like C's, but like I was averaging B's, B pluses, but like I still could feel so satisfied because I knew I wasn't like wasting my time, and I had gotten that A. Like no one could take that away from me. But like I had just had to redirect my my energy to something else. And like as you become parents and you have kids, this it's weird, but there's nothing more satisfying than seeing your kids like accomplish something like walking or something like that. And so I think it's frame of mind, because also as a parent, like I want so much more for my kids than I can currently give them. And so it's all frame of mind. And I feel like there's points where you hit in your life, but that would be probably my biggest one that I could say is getting perfect A's that semester, and then watching my grades tank the next semester, but understanding like why that was happening, because there was something bigger and better that I was dedicating my time to. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And also like getting straight A's is kind of a waste of time unless you're going to medical school. So
Yeah, during
Personal
high
opinion.
school, I'm trying to think of a single instance, maybe gym, because that's like the easiest class I got an A in. I just I just did not care. I don't know. I still graduated. In fact, I graduated a year early, but still, I wasn't spectacular at anything. So yeah.